Women between 25 and 44 are falling into the same fat loss trap. Are you making it too? The truth is, most traditional diets and workouts are designed to fail, leaving you frustrated, drained, and stuck in the same cycle. But here's the twist. Science shows that fat loss doesn't have to be complicated. With the right approach, you can finally escape the trap and start burning fat in a smarter, sustainable way. Many people start a fat loss workout full of expectations, but end up stumbling into an invisible mistake. They lose more muscle than fat. Sounds contradictory, doesn't it? They train, sweat, see the number on the scale drop, but inside their body is actually getting weaker. And a weak body can't sustain long-term results. Take someone like Emma, for example. She decided to follow a radical fat-burning diet of just 800 calories a day. In the first few days, she was thrilled by the rapid weight loss. But what she didn't realize was that most of this so-called victory came from losing lean muscle mass. Without muscle, her metabolism slowed down like a car running on a rusty engine. This leads to a consequence many people ignore. The less muscle you have, the harder it becomes to burn fat, especially belly fat burning. In defense mode, the body switches to energy saving, burning fewer calories even at rest. The result? Carla felt more exhausted during workouts, and her body started clinging to fat as if it were hidden treasure. This scenario is far more common than it seems. Crash diets, miracle shakes, crazy restrictions. All of it leads to frustration because no one wants to fight the scale only to end up weaker. But is there a way to truly understand how the body burns fat without falling into these traps? Here's the raw truth. There's no magic. The body burns fat through a process called oxidation. It's like taking stored fat and turning it into energy. Part of it becomes CO, which you literally breathe out. Another part turns into water, eliminated through sweat and urine. That's right, you actually exhale and sweat out fat. But there's a detail nobody likes to hear. This process only truly happens when there's an energy deficit. In other words, when you burn more than you consume. That can come from a smart combination of intermittent fasting exercise and a fat-burning diet. It's no use thinking that just because you ran 2 miles, you can make up for it with a giant pizza. Your body is constantly doing the math. Think of it this way. Each fat loss workout is like opening a faucet to release energy. If there's no space in the bucket of a calorie deficit, nothing flows out. It's simple but powerful. Want to speed up the process? Use training as the tool and food as the right fuel. A workout without a nutrition strategy is like driving a car with a leaky tank. You hit the gas, but don't move forward. Now, if we already know how fat leaves the body, an intriguing question remains. Why is belly fat burning so stubborn and harder to get rid of than fat anywhere else? Abdominal fat has a reputation for being stubborn, and with good reason. There's a biological explanation for why burning this area is so difficult. Men tend to store fat in the belly, while women store it in the hips and thighs. This isn't bad luck, it's genetics. The body programs certain regions to hold extra energy as a strategic reserve, and the belly happens to be the most commonly used vault. On top of that, there's the issue of blood flow. Areas like the abdomen receive less circulation, which means fat is released more slowly for energy. It's as if the body had different locks, beta-2 receptors, which let fat out easily, and alpha-2 receptors, which hold on tightly. Guess which one dominates in the belly? Exactly the resistant type. This explains why someone can do 1,000 crunches and still not see definition. It's not that the workout doesn't work, it's that belly fat burning follows its own logic. The body decides where to pull energy from, not you. Frustrating, yes, but it's reality. That's why smart strategies, combining a fat loss workout, nutrition, and even hormonal techniques make such a big difference. Now, if genetics and receptors already make things difficult, what happens when we throw hormones into the mix? Could they speed up the process or completely shut it down? Hormones are like the conductors of the body. They decide whether the orchestra plays in full speed or if the music stalls halfway through. Insulin, for example, works like a switch. When it's too high, the body stores energy as fat. Cortisol, the well-known stress hormone, can easily turn your belly into an emergency storage unit. Picture someone with a packed schedule, little sleep, and always racing against the clock. That constant stress keeps cortisol levels high, and the result is simple: more belly fat. And don't think that just increasing your fat loss workout will fix it. Without managing stress and sleep, the body stays in alert mode, clinging to stored energy. Studies show that strength training helps regulate sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen, which directly influence belly fat burning. On top of that, keeping consistent meal times can reduce insulin spikes. It's not about extreme measures, it's about consistency. Small routine adjustments create big hormonal shifts. Now think about this. If hormones already play such a big role in fat loss, is there really a miracle exercise that targets only belly fat? Or is that just another myth people still believe in? Here's a truth that shatters a common illusion. There's no exercise that burns fat only from the belly. Doing hundreds of crunches will strengthen the muscles, but the fat layer stays right there, firm and stubborn. The body doesn't listen to your request about where you want to burn fat. It releases energy systemically, taking a little from here, a little from there. It's like trying to choose which shelf the body should grab food from in a supermarket. You might want it only from the abs section, but the body goes wherever it finds it most convenient. And that varies from person to person. That's why some people slim down first in the face, others in the arms, while belly fat burning often seems to be the very last to disappear. Want a practical example? Richard spent weeks focusing on abdominal exercises, believing it would melt away localized fat. When he checked, he realized that yes, his muscles were stronger, but still hidden. It was only when he combined a fat loss workout with a consistent fat-burning diet that results finally started to show. So here's the question. If isolated AB exercises don't work, what's the best strategy to actually burn fat? Could the secret lie in choosing between cardio versus weightlifting or combining the two? This is a classic battle in gyms everywhere. Cardio enthusiasts argue it's unbeatable for burning calories and boosting endurance. And they're not wrong. During a 3-mile run, the body first uses glucose, but then triggers the afterburn effect, continuing to burn energy even at rest. It's like putting fat burning on autopilot for hours. Weight training, on the other hand, has a secret weapon. By protecting and building lean muscle mass, it keeps metabolism revved up. Think about it. Every extra pound of muscle makes your body burn energy just to exist. It's like having small internal furnaces running 24/7. And those furnaces not only help with belly fat burning, but also prevent the muscle loss that's common during strict diets. So, which one is better? The answer isn't to choose, but to combine. Cardio gives you the immediate fire, while weightlifting builds the solid foundation. Together, they create a virtuous cycle: fast burn with cardio, sustained results with muscle. That's what turns a fat loss workout into a smart strategy, instead of a pointless rivalry. But here's a detail that makes the debate even more controversial. Does training on an empty stomach, the famous intermittent fasting exercise, really make a difference? Or is it just another passing trend? Training on an empty stomach is a divisive topic. Some swear it's the key to belly fat burning, while others claim it's risky. The truth is, it all depends on intensity. During light or moderate sessions, like a brisk walk or a 5-mile bike ride, the body really does tend to rely more on fat as fuel. That's where intermittent fasting exercise shows its value. But if you try lifting heavy weights or doing an intense HIIT workout without eating, the story changes. The body's performance can collapse, breaking down muscle instead of fat. The result? Weakness, dizziness, and a workout that does more harm than good. It's not about demonizing fasting, but about understanding in which context it works best. A practical alternative: small light meals before training. Something like Greek yogurt, a small handful of nuts, or even a banana that provides enough fuel without pulling the body out of fat access mode. It's the balance between performance and results that keeps fat loss workouts sustainable. But if fasting can trick us into believing we're burning more fat, what about sweat? Is sweating buckets really a sign of victory on the scale? Or just another deeply rooted myth? Sweating a lot doesn't mean you're burning more fat. That might sound discouraging, but it's the plain truth. Sweat is simply the body's way of regulating internal temperature. You lose fluids, not fat. That's why after an intense workout, the scale might show 2 pounds less. But as soon as you rehydrate, the weight comes back. Many people confuse sweat with results. They believe that the wetter the shirt, the greater the belly fat burning, but science shows that's not the case. What really matters is the calorie deficit, burning more energy than you consume. That's the scenario where fat is oxidized and turned into CO and water, not through the simple act of sweating. Think of a boxer who needs to make weight. He puts on plastic suits, runs miles, and sheds liters of sweat. The next day, the scale shows him lighter. But none of that was fat loss. It was just water. This proves how relying solely on sweat or the scale can be a dangerous illusion. Now, if even the scale can trick you, imagine the damage extreme diets can cause. Do radical calorie cuts really speed up fat burning, or do they just set the stage for the dreaded yo-yo effect? Extreme diets may sound tempting because they promise quick results, but they hide a dangerous trap. When the calorie deficit is too severe, the body interprets it as a threat. Instead of prioritizing belly fat burning, it starts breaking down muscle for fuel. The result? A slower metabolism, less strength, and greater difficulty maintaining weight loss. It's like trying to drive a sports car, but filling it with low-grade, contaminated fuel. It might move at first, but soon it starts breaking down. The body reacts the same way. This strategy may show fewer pounds on the scale, but at the cost of health and performance. That's not victory, it's self-sabotage. A classic case is crash diets. They may seem effective for a few days, but soon the body shifts into energy-saving mode. Once the person returns to normal eating, the fat comes back even faster. That's the dreaded yo-yo effect, which crushes anyone's confidence. Not to mention the constant fatigue, irritability, and weakened immunity. So here's the question. If drastic calorie cuts aren't the answer, could there be a natural and even simple way to use something we already do every day, like breathing, to support fat burning? Breathing seems automatic, but few people realize the impact it can have on belly fat burning. Fat oxidation only happens with oxygen, and the more efficient you're breathing, the more your body can turn fat into energy. It's like feeding more air into a fire. The more oxygen it gets, the stronger it burns. Some simple techniques have already shown interesting results. Studies suggest that breathing through the nose, engaging the abdomen instead of the chest, and keeping a slow rhythm with strong exhalations can increase fat use as fuel by up to 20%. Imagine turning every fat loss workout into something more powerful just by adjusting your breathing. Want a practical example? During a 2-mile run, focus on inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling strongly through your mouth, always engaging your abdomen. This keeps the body oxygenated, reduces fatigue, and promotes fat burning. It's simple, costs nothing, and can be applied to any workout. But if even breathing can be optimized, what about structuring your training week strategically? Could that lead to faster, more consistent results? When it comes to a fat loss workout, improvising every day won't cut it. The body responds better to a planned routine, almost like a choreography. Monday can be dedicated to intense cardio, with short sprints that spike the heart rate and activate the afterburn effect. On Tuesday, the focus shifts to strength training, paired with a light walk, balancing power and recovery. Wednesday is for steady-state cardio, something like a 4-mile run at a consistent pace. This kind of training teaches the body to use fat more efficiently as fuel. Thursday is reserved for active recovery, stretching, yoga, or even a light bike ride. It's not full rest, but smart movement to keep the engine running smoothly. Friday brings heavy strength training combined with light cardio, protecting lean mass while boosting metabolism. Saturday is the challenge day. Long cardio sessions of 60 to 75 minutes, pushing endurance limits. Finally, Sunday closes the cycle with active rest, something as simple as a relaxing family walk. And this raises a new question. If structured training already amplifies results, what about nutrition? Could there be a fat-burning diet capable of accelerating the process without falling into the traps of extreme restrictions? Training without proper nutrition is like trying to fill a leaky bucket. All the effort drains away. A well-structured fat-burning diet starts with protein. It preserves muscle, speeds up metabolism, and creates that lasting feeling of fullness. Something as simple as chicken breast or eggs for breakfast can completely change your energy for the day. Fiber is another powerful ally. Found in foods like oats, apples, and beans, it reduces hunger and improves digestion. Think of it as natural brakes on your appetite. On top of that, hydration is essential. Drinking 3 to 4 liters of water a day keeps the body balanced and supports the fat oxidation process. And of course, cutting out sugar and processed foods is non-negotiable. Every soda, packaged cookie, or fast food meal is like throwing wet wood onto a fire. It smothers more than it helps. Replacing them with fruit, whole grains, and homemade meals brings results that over the weeks become visible, both in the mirror and in your daily energy. But even with good nutrition, there's one factor that often gets overlooked and can stall everything: sleep. Few people take this seriously, but without quality sleep, even the best fat loss workout loses its impact. During those 7 to 8 hours of rest, the body regulates hormones like insulin, cortisol, and leptin, all directly tied to belly fat burning. It's in this window that the body repairs itself, restores energy, and keeps systems in balance. Now, imagine someone who trains hard, follows a disciplined, fat-burning diet, but only sleeps 4 or 5 hours a night. The result? Hormonal imbalances, increased hunger, and the body holding on to fat as a defense mechanism. It's like trying to use a phone without ever charging the battery. Before long, nothing works properly. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours have up to 30% more difficulty losing abdominal fat. And it's not just about the number of hours, but the quality of sleep. A dark room, cool temperature, and no screens help you reach the deep recovery stages where the real magic happens. But if sleep is already such a crucial piece, is there a simple way for busy or even lazy people to maintain results without relying on heavy workouts and complex diets? Not everyone has the time or the patience to live in the gym. That's where the autopilot method comes in. The idea is simple: turn small daily actions into allies for belly fat burning. Walking for 10 minutes after meals, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or even putting more effort into household chores, all of it adds up more than most people realize. When it comes to food, the secret is smart choices, not complication. Eating slowly, including protein in every meal, and swapping white bread for whole grains already creates a huge impact on metabolism. It's a fat-burning diet without extremes, but one that provides real support for any fat loss workout, even light ones. And when it comes to rest, no improvising. A dark, cool, distraction-free room may be all it takes to trigger deep, restorative sleep. That single habit alone helps regulate hormones and prevents unnecessary hunger spikes. It may seem small, but over time, it builds consistency. But at the end of the day, there's something even more important than training, food, and sleep: mindset. After all, why do some people give up so quickly, while others manage to sustain results for years? In the end, it all comes down to how the mind approaches the process. A person may have the best fat loss workout plan, follow a balanced fat-burning diet, and even manage their sleep. But if the mindset isn't aligned, sooner or later, they give up. Consistency, more than intensity, is what separates those who succeed from those who only try. Small daily victories create momentum. Lost 1 pound in a week? That's already progress. Swapped soda for water for 7 days straight. Another win. These achievements, stacked together, build real motivation, and that motivation becomes fuel to keep going, even when results feel slow. Those who see the journey as a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint, understand that setbacks are part of the process. The key is to get back up quickly, learn, and move forward. That's what keeps belly fat burning sustainable. A strong mindset works like armor against the yo-yo effect. Now you know why most traditional methods fail and how simple science can guide you toward real fat loss. The next step is yours. Apply one strategy, stay consistent, and watch your progress build. What's the first change you'll start with today? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to keep learning practical science-based methods for fat loss. This content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Results may vary. Always consult a healthcare professional before making drastic changes to your diet or training routine.